Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video here that a lot of you might relate to, and this story is titled Girl Who Friend-Zoned Me for Years Suddenly Wants to Catch Up Now That I'm Seeing Other Women. You know, this is a life experience that I think a lot of men have, particularly young men, okay, where you might be interested in a girl for a long period of time. You know, you are naive enough to stay there and give her free attention and free validation, and she'll lead you on for quite some time. And eventually, you'll probably develop the self-respect to say, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this woman anymore. She's clearly not interested. I'm going to respect myself. I'm going to go and date other women, or I'm just going to not date at all, and I'm going to just drop this situation entirely. And oftentimes, these women, when you walk away from them, when you have something else going on in your life, maybe you've got other women, or maybe you're more successful now, those "hey stranger" texts start rolling in, okay? Those women who were never previously interested in you, now that you have a girlfriend, now that you have a wife, now that you have other women interested in you, now that you have finances, whatever the case may be, now all of a sudden they want to catch up and try and have a relationship with you. This is essentially modern women in a nutshell, guys. It is absolutely hilarious. Now, guys, don't forget to like the video on your way in. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new here. And let's take a listen to today's story. So this is a 28-year-old guy, and it says a 28-year-old man shares how a girl who kept him in the friend zone for years suddenly tried to reconnect after seeing him move on. But this time, her timing couldn't have been worse. Now, before we even jump into the story, guys, let me just say this. If you're a dude and you are quote-unquote friend-zoned by a woman, you shouldn't be there in the first place. You should not be giving women free attention, free validation, allowing them to lead you on. You should just have the self-respect to leave the situation in the first place, guys. Okay? That's the number one thing. Self-respect. Don't be giving women free attention who simply do not deserve it, in my opinion. Let's jump into it. I'm a 28-year-old male, he says. The girl in question is 27. Let's call her Sarah. I met Sarah back in college when I was about 20. She was gorgeous. She was outgoing and magnetic. I developed feelings pretty early on, but every time I tried to move things forward, she hit me with the classic, "I just see you as such a good friend." Like an idiot. It's good to know this guy understands that he's an idiot, by the way. He says, like an idiot, I stuck around. So at least he knew what he was doing was stupid in retrospect, okay? He says, I thought if I was patient, maybe she'd see me differently someday. For years of being just friends, that's crazy. For years, I was her emotional crutch. Breakups, family drama, boredom. Whenever she needed company, I was the guy she called. Meanwhile, she dated men who clearly didn't treat her well. I was always the shoulder to cry on, but never the one she chose. Every time I suggested something more, she would back away and say that she didn't want to ruin our friendship. So this guy is making all of the mistakes in the book, right? He is that guy who is the shoulder to cry on. When she goes out there and hooks up with some other random dude who clearly didn't want a relationship, which, by the way, so many modern women do this, by the way. So she goes out there, she does what modern women do. She hooks up with a bunch of bad boys, fails to secure commitment, which is hilarious, mind you. So she does that. And then these women always have a shoulder to cry on. And usually it's a guy who doesn't understand. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't understand. He listens to the woman and he might actually think that these dudes are bad guys. Oh, they're so terrible. But what he doesn't understand is that the woman is voluntarily chasing these dudes. And for you to stick around, it's just an indication that you don't have self-respect. That's all that it is. So he's sitting there and he's always the shoulder to cry on. She's complaining about other dudes to him. She's saying that they are good friends. And like, this is not a positive thing, guys. When women say that you're a great friend, if you have romantic interest in this woman, this is not a good sign. When she says that you're a great friend, she doesn't want to ruin the friendship. Anyway, he says, about a year ago, I stopped waiting. I put my focus into the gym. Good stuff. My career and my hobbies. I started casually dating. Nothing too serious, but enough to start building real confidence again. Eventually, I met a few women who valued my time. I wasn't broadcasting my life all over social media, but it was clear from the circles we ran in that I was no longer the lonely guy waiting on Sarah. Okay, so what did this guy do? He started taking care of his physique, started taking care of his finances, probably his his hobbies would have also helped him as well, right? Because he wouldn't be so desperate for female attention, right? If you're doing all this crap, you probably don't even have the time to even care, which is the thing. You shouldn't be caring in the first place. So he goes to the gym, great move, works on his career and his hobbies. Excellent stuff. Anyway, he meets some women, sure, and they seem interested in him. A few months ago, I ran into Sarah at a grocery store. It was at the grocery store. It was awkward at first. She acted overly excited to see me, asked how I'd been, what I was up to, how life was treating me. And within 5 minutes, she asked if I wanted to grab lunch sometime to catch up properly. My goodness, man. So just by the way, this woman, she probably knows these other women or has an inclination that this dude is seeing other women. Like, even though this guy is not actively posting to social media, I guarantee you she's keeping tabs on him somehow. He's probably posted at least something that she's seen of him with other women, right? Or she's probably heard through mutual friends or something that he was seeing other women. Like, women, especially if they're your long-term friends, guys, quote-unquote friends, or just girls you used to see or date or marry or whatever, right? Ex-wives and things like that. They all keep tabs on the dudes who were previously interested in them. Because they want to know how you're doing and if it would be beneficial for them to return into your life. He said, I agreed to lunch, not because I was curious, but because I already knew where this was heading. I just wanted to hear firsthand what her angle was. I wasn't bitter. I wasn't hoping for closure. I just wanted to face it fully awake this time. When we met for lunch a few days later, it didn't take long for the real motives to surface. She asked if I was seeing anyone. She mentioned how she had been thinking about the good guys that she had overlooked. Wow, so this woman even, what a surprise, she had multiple shoulders to cry on. Multiple dudes, right? Plenty of orbiters to go around. She even half joked maybe the right guy was there all along. I realized right then that this wasn't about missing me, this was about missing the attention that I used to give so freely. Exactly. He says, I didn't play along, I was polite but distant. When she started hinting that maybe we should see what happens, I told her calmly, I'm not the same guy who waited around for you. I hope you find what you're looking for, but it won't be with me. Her face fell, she tried to laugh it off, but the message was clear. I wasn't going to be her fallback option. It's good to see that this guy actually understands what this interaction represents, okay? This interaction is essentially her saying, hey, I want to have something with you now, but I didn't want to before, right? You're in a better position now, so we can see where it goes. I didn't want you before, but I want you now, okay? And oftentimes older women are a little bit more brutal because they're looking to quote-unquote settle down, and they're a lot more direct. But this is essentially a woman who never cared previously, but now she does because you're getting attention from women, and you're probably doing better in your career. After lunch, she tried messaging me a few times, random check-ins, invitations to hang out, but I didn't engage beyond pointless, basic politeness. Eventually, she stopped trying. I think deep down she understood that whatever door she thought was still open had long since closed. The best thing I ever did was stop waiting for someone to change their mind about me. People who truly value you do not need to be convinced. They recognize your inherent worth when it counts, not after everyone else does. I think that makes some sense, right? And it's a funny story because this is something I guarantee you, a lot of you guys watching this has probably happened in your life at some point where you'll get those hey stranger texts from women who just think that they can slip back into your life like nothing ever happened, even though they were never interested in you previously. And it's always good to see when the man says no, he has the self-respect to say, see you later, I'm not going to deal with you. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.